change of plans. I realize this is open now. Might as well make this a conversion video. So it teaches you how to take the pot clip off, teaches you how to remove the safety. And I might even put the safety back in since I am converting this into an auto. I was just curious if I could take it out. I know I could. But anyway, here's a cheap Chinese auto. Actually, I just used this to show something in another video. And I know this is a coil spring auto. Push button, works exactly like this will. But I want to take this apart right now. Of course, this takes different tools, so I grab the other tool. So I'm going to take this apart and show you how this one works, and then hopefully swing this over the coil spring to that knife. So let's do that right now. Here's the pivot screw. Let's remove that carefully. Nice cheap. Whoa. Now I'm going to carefully lift this because there's a spring in there. Same deal, we have our button lock with our spring. Okay, put that off to the side. So this will be a manual knife when I'm done with it. Let me keep all that crap off to the side, make sure it's for that knife. Now, as I remove this, make sure the stop pin doesn't come out. There we go. Blades off, that goes over there. Coil spring is right in here. So this is what I want. This is our magic piece. This is a coil spring, all right, and this is actually set up for knife use. Now back in the day, you could find these all over eBay. You know, you buy them all over the place. Amazon didn't exist back then, or at least I didn't know of it. But a lot of knife people, you know, get a hold of these. They buy like 30, 40 at a time and then sell to other people to convert their blades. Couldn't tell you where to get these right now. I might know a couple sources, but I don't know. For legal reasons, I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But if you can get a coil spring like this, you can easily convert it. I believe, anyway. Let's take a look here. This recess is a lot larger than this one, so this might have to be cut. But basically, it goes in just like this. Holy crap, oh, look at that. It fits. So, actually, does it fit? It's actually a little long, but it might work, might not, we'll see. That basically the part that's sticking up there goes into the hole in the blade. That's why there's a recess cut out here as well. In this particular coil spring, hold on, I'm gonna do this in front of my face so I can see what I'm doing. Alright guys, this part of the video, I have to do this in person. I can't really show this with a tripod. But basically, once you get the coil spring inside of the hole in the blade, the part that's sticking up, on the bottom, okay, and it's hard to show, the bottom of that coil spring, the part that's sticking out, has to sit in that channel. So what you have to do is you rotate this down, alright, you rotate it until it fits like right there. You can't see it, but that part's in the channel, okay? Now you're building up pressure because you're turning the spring. So as I rotate this, it wants to spring back, okay? I'm basically charging the spring, I guess you could say. So at this point, you have to hold this assembly here, all right? Get the button lock on the piece in the proper spot. Make sure that the stop pin is correct. Make sure that the back thing is in the correct position. Put the top scale on, hold everything together, screw it down. It's a huge, huge pain in the butt. But I'm going to do that right now. I'm just explaining what I'm going to do because I'm going to get back once it's on top. Then I'll tighten it down and show you how it works. But you have spring tension right now. So what you're going to do is this is going to continue all the way down. Okay, and then it'll lock shut, of course, and when you push the button, it'll spring open. It'll be automatic. Quick look at this. We're playing around with this. It's very difficult to do this in one hand. Here's the problem, though. This particular coil is being squished because it's too big. All right, there's too many rings, I guess, in it. Like the overall size is too tall. I could cut it and rebend it how it should be. All right, more tools now. Took it apart. You can see it actually started scraping the finish off because there was just too much crap jammed in there. And it bent the coil spring here. You can see it's just too wide. So what I have to do here is I have to cut the top two rings off, then bend it and reshape it so that there's still a piece sticking up. Now if I do this successfully and properly, it should reinstall just fine and shoot open. The problem is if you cut too much off of here, you're not going to have any power for it to swing open. You want it to swing open with authority. You want, you push the button, boom, it's open. You don't want it to kind of like drag along or be slow. So you don't want a weak spring, basically. So I have to cut it just right. All right, I'm back. Here we go. I cut this off By the way, Leathermans to save the day. What did I put the other one? Oh, using 2 Leathermans, my juice and Christina's wave they gave her to kind of finagle, and I used the juice to cut the spring steel, totally fine. This is what I cut off, okay? So I made the depth smaller. The problem is that I didn't want it this short. I actually had this piece that was connected to this so that the part sticking up would be opposite the part sticking out, how it's supposed to be. It should be like over here. But in bending this, it actually broke, and it broke like in half lengthwise, if that makes sense. Anyway, we're gonna see if this works. That's the point I'm making here. Might work, might not. I've never actually cut a spring before. Usually it's kind of a plug and play. You buy the spring, I mean, of course, get the right one, put it in, and then you're good to go. All right, so that's long enough to fit into that hole. Okay. Oop. Can you grab that piece right there? Sure. Thanks. Okay, so let's put this now into the knife. And, well, you know what? I have to do this way. I know the spring will fit now. I just want to make sure it's not too short. I'll do this. I'm going to put this in the channel first. So you see how this goes. It goes right in the bottom channel. And then that part goes to the blade. But it might not be long enough now. I'm not sure. Hold on, I got to do this off camera for a second here. So I'm rotating this, trying to find that piece. Nope. Now it bent. All in all, if you do this, there we go. If you do this with the right spring, it's not a problem. I'm totally MacGyvering this right now, and hopefully it works. Alright guys, the saga is coming to an end. I put the knife back together. The only problem I have now is that, I mean, it's functional, but the piece of steel, the spring that's sticking up through the blade, it has to be even with the blade. In other words, it's inside the blade. Okay, so as the blade turns, it's rotating that spring, but it can't be pushing through. And because it's through, it's rubbing on the inside of the frame. So it's not as fluent. But if I take the knife apart in a second, which I will, I should get a really fluent action. But right now, there's no safety on here. It is converted into an automatic, so when you push the button, it opens up and locks. All right, very functional. To press the button to close it, it still locks in. All right, so now we have, let me pull this back a little bit. Chair. Bring it up, so I'll give you a better shot here. All right, so now we have a fully functional converted automatic knife. Really cool. I mean, it's awesome. But I could feel that just a little bit of resistance. The spring size is fine. You can see there's plenty of power here. In fact, if I 2-finger it, you can see, I mean, the whole knife wants to swing with it. So there is plenty of power, even in those, 2.5 coils that are there. So I'm not worried about the spring tension on here. Now I'm just worrying about it being smooth. It looks nice and smooth, trust me, but I know it can go better. And now that I did convert it into an automatic, when I take it apart, I'm going to put the safety back in. Okay, because if the button does get pushed in the pocket or something, it's going to fly out as opposed to just fall out a little bit. Right, so I'm going to put the safety back in. It's a good idea for any auto. Also going to put the spike back on. As you can see here, you can have the pocket clip on or off. Doesn't make a difference either way. See what that looks like real quick without the pocket clip. Alright, so there we go. No pocket clip, automatic converted trade button lock. Very cool.